Hi guys. So in the last section, you have discussed about the Selenium IDE. So what is Selenium IDE and what are the advantages and disadvantages of the Selenium IDE? So in Selenium IDE, you have features like record and playback, add-ons. It is add-ons for Firefox and Chrome. Basically, it is developed for Firefox, but later, so it is also support the Chrome add-ons. Okay, so it is very easy to configure. It has the functionality like to export the test cases, multiple languages. Okay, so what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are it has no extension functionalities. Okay, so it is a browser specific and it does not support the complex applications like a dynamic element. Okay, so it does not support also the conditional logics. Also, it has no script debugger. Okay, so also it has no way to embed the code, and there is no visual UI testing, no parallel testing. So all these are limitations of Selenium. So what overcomes all these limitations? Yes, it is called your Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so Selenium WebDriver overcomes all the limitations of Selenium Ide. Okay, so now Selenium WebDriver. What is Selenium WebDriver? Selenium WebDriver is a powerful and key features of Selenium automation testing. Okay, and the biggest advantages of Selenium WebDriver is this is actually a WebDriver API. Okay, and it is also known as your Selenium 2. Okay, also known as Selenium 2. Okay, let me reduce the size. Okay, so now what is WebDriver? WebDriver is actually a API which is the important component of Selenium. Okay, and it is also known as Selenium 2. Okay, which is an enhancement of Selenium 1 is called Selenium RC. Okay, so unlike Selenium Ide, whatever I have discussed in Selenium Ide here, okay, so unlike that, WebDriver is the most powerful tool for automation testing. Okay, so in WebDriver you can design the test script in any language. Okay, in any language like your Java. If you want to write the Selenium WebDriver code in Java, then you can do. It also supports C#. Also, it support your Python. Okay. Also, it support your Ruby. Okay. Also, it support your Perl. So, okay, all these language it support. What support? WebDriver supports all these languages. Okay. So now we'll come to our WebDriver architecture. So how WebDriver evolved? So I told you it is the enhancement of Selenium 1. Okay. So here let's say I have Selenium 1. Here I have Selenium 1. Okay. And it added the it added the WebDriver. Okay, and it is your WebDriver. Okay, WebDriver. Then what it becomes? It becomes your Selenium 2. Okay, so it becomes Selenium 2. Okay, so now Selenium WebDriver is actually designed with a simple and concise programming interface along with the limitations of the RC. So WebDriver overcomes the limitations of RC. Okay, this WebDriver actually overcomes the limitations of Selenium RC. Okay, so now, okay, let me do this. Okay, so if you want to create a robust and browser-based regression test script, then scale the test script across many environments, then Selenium WebDriver is the best option to choose. Okay, so do you need Selenium server in case of Selenium WebDriver? No. It is also depending on you how you intend to use. If you want to execute the script in a own local machines, then no need any Selenium server. Okay. So sometimes you need a Selenium server. Okay, sometimes you need Selenium server. Selenium server. Why? There are a couple of example. Okay, if you want to integrate your test script with Selenium Grid, if you want to integrate your test script with your Selenium Grid, then you need Selenium server. But in WebDriver, you do not need to use any Selenium server. If you want to connect to remote machine having different browsers, then you need Selenium server. What is that? Remote control. Okay. So now another way is if you want to work with HTML unit for headless browser, you need Selenium server for headless browsers. So if you want to work with all three, any of three your work, okay, so any of three ways, then if you want to connect to remote controls, or you want to work with headless browsers, or you want to work with grid, so all these you need a Selenium server. So now we got what is Selenium WebDriver, what all the languages it support actually. Okay, what all the languages it support. Then what is the other name of the Selenium WebDriver? Okay, so how Selenium WebDriver is revolved is Selenium 2. How is Selenium 2 revolved? It's Selenium 1. We have added the WebDriver. Then it is Selenium 2. So Selenium server do not require in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, but if you want to work with your remote control or headless browser or Selenium Grid, then you need a Selenium server. Okay, so now we'll understand about what is WebDriver. Okay, we'll understand with a simple diagram here. Okay. Okay, first Selenium is actually in the WebDriver is actually a interface, you know, class and interface in Java. Okay, so if you don't know, so you can go to www.testinglpoint.com. Okay, so there you have core Java tutorials, so you can browse and you can learn about the interface and class. So here we just understand that how the WebDriver is designed. Okay, so WebDriver is actually a interface. Okay, so search context. So here I will make a diagram for WebDriver. Okay, so this is the my WebDriver. WebDriver is a interface. So for the interface I'm marking as a square, and for the interface for the interface I'm marking the square, and for the class I'll mark as a oval. Okay, so for now this is the WebDriver is actually interface. Okay, and search context, there is another component, it's called search context. Yeah, I'll write here search context. Okay, so search context is the top level of the interface, okay, which is extended by WebDriver, which is extended by WebDriver. Okay, so interface and interface will extend. Okay, now so this defines, so this search context defines all the common methods like findElements or findElement, switchTo, get. So all these methods or these functions it will define. Okay, search context will define. Okay, so another component here is your remote WebDriver. Remote WebDriver. Okay, so it actually remote WebDriver is actually a class. So for class I have marked as a oval shape. Okay, so what interface and class will do, it will do the implements. Okay, for implements I just marked this symbol. Okay, and we have Firefox driver, Chrome driver, all those are extends through remote WebDriver. Okay, so whatever the functions like Firefox driver, okay, let me write here is a Firefox driver, and it is the Chrome driver. Okay, so these two are extends. Okay, these two are extends from remote WebDriver. Okay, so from this figure, okay, we can understand WebDriver extends search context, and WebDriver implements as the remote WebDriver implements WebDriver. So WebDriver is an interface, okay, whereas a remote WebDriver is a class. So if anyone will ask you what is WebDriver, it is a class or interface, the answer will be it is an interface. Okay, and WebDriver contains the method signature, where the remote WebDriver contains the definition of those method. So these are the some definitions or some differences or some comparisons of WebDriver and your remote WebDriver. Okay, so WebDriver contains all the method signature is main important. So WebDriver contains the method signature, whereas Remote WebDriver contains the definitions of those methods. So this is the most important point. You need to remember this. Okay. So now how to define the WebDriver. Okay, so for now we can stop this here, all this context. Okay, so in next session we'll discuss about the how to define WebDriver with a small example. Okay. If you want to learn more about Selenium automation testing tool, then you can go to www.testinglpoint.com. Go to this website, and there are lots of testing tools. Tutorials are available like Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Cucumber, LT, and JMeter's. Also, addition to that, you can have quiz. You can give the quiz here, and there are lots of interview questions are available here. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. There are lots of tutorials will be uploaded soon. Just subscribe to my channel, like and share. If you have any questions on this videos tutorial, then you can put your questions on the comment section. I'll give the answers in the next tutorials. Thank you, guys.